Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SimPlay Motorsport. Sorry about that, was just making sure I was getting the correct settings all done and dusted there. But we are back and we are live once again. Please can just people let me know if they're able to hear the game and all of the other wonderful things that we produce to the stream. But nonetheless, we are back, we are live, and we are ready to go racing for a brand new season here at SimPlay Motorsport. We are live here at Oulton Park for the first round of the season, the first round of the Whodarron Cup and our GT3 Championship. Once again, it is back and we are ready to go. Obviously, as you can see on the screen, our Ginetta GT4s have gone, they have left, and they are no longer with us. We have a brand new series for the Whodarron Cup. We have the BMW M2s in replacement. Still the same format, still the same. I can hear both down. Thank you very much, PN. As long as everything sounds perfectly clear and good to go, we'll do a little run in a minute of a lap to just see if everything's in sync, so we can make sure that everything is on point. I mean, you can even do it now. You can see O'Reilly going through the final corner and about to go underneath the bridge right about now, and then heading towards the start finish line. He's currently 8/10 off the pace. He crosses the line and does not improve, so we can see if that's in sync. Can someone let me know that we are kind of on par with what the stream is showing? So as I said, M2s are back, and the way the format works is the same as we've always done with the Whodarron Cup. It is 3 sprint races tonight. A touring car style-esque that we like to call, where basically we have 3 races. They're only 20 minutes long, and it is flat out racing from lights to flag, and we will see who can become on top of the end of the night. Obviously, the first 3 races this season, there's going to be a qualifying session. Seems about right. Thank you very much, PN. You're a star. There's going to be 3 races, and later on, when we go into round 2, when we head to the Nürburgring, we will then introduce what's called Championship Ballast. Championship ballast will then be applied to your drivers. So the leader of the championship will collect 40 kilos, while position number 2 will gain 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10 and 5, and everyone else with no weight. And I think with these types of cars as well, we could see a big shake in how much of a difference this will make in these cars, especially because they will be able to just struggle to carry the weight with them. So yeah, it should be interesting to see how these cars carry the weight. We'll have a quick run through of the drivers, and I really am just gonna say here and now, I apologize now if I get anybody's name wrong at all, or I botch job it really badly. Please drop me a message in the Discord, unorthodub16 or Dan underscore can't even speak now. Feel free to just drop me a message in the Discord to let me know how I actually pronounce your name correctly, but I will try my very best. So a quick run through of the championship. Obviously, we have the number 1 driver, Kieran O'Reilly. Obviously, the Whodarron Cup is now staying as it is. No matter what series we run it to, it is going to stay the Whodarron Cup. He is obviously our last year's champion with the Ginettas, and he is carrying the number 1, and he is racing with the MSA. He has a teammate this season of Sylth, returning back once again for the Whodarron Cup in his BMW M2 as well. See what the MSA boys can do. We'll look to the top. We got Mins leading the way at the minute in the number 2. And we have Dabont returning as well, doing it for Greasy Bandits Racing in the 999. We've also got Skunky as well, returning now as the casuals, separating from Greasy and going his own way. And we've got Hupert, not running under the MSA, he is running an independent. I believe he's a reserve as well, so we'll see how Hupert gets on. Erish will also be running here tonight, and again, I'm going to really mess up these names, and I think it's Svorster Motorsport. Probably got that terrible, but Erish though currently number 4 and currently sat 7th, and he goes P5 with that lap time. The other half of the Greasy Bandits Racing group is D Hibbs. He'll be back in his 31 and see what he can do. SimPlay Racing have lost a driver, and they have still got Rob Ramsel running in the 69. Kowalski in P10 at the minute, running a 21. Schwarber in 11th place at the minute, with Aberdeen making a return. He's currently 12th at the minute. the Monster in currently 13th, with Harris returning for Team FBR, partnered with GB. McGowan, the other part of the Casuals Racing Group. Marsden doing it at GBU Racing. Then we got, I was practicing this name throughout the whole time, and I'm going to try again. I can't even remember now. I can't even remember. I'm drawing a blank. Nagonov. I'm trying. Flop currently in 18th place position, with Will Brink in 20th at the minute. Johnson in the 21st position. Crespo in 22nd. Varga 23rd. We got Millington in the other SimPlay Racing stable. We got Matt Wright in the Quantum Motorsport with Rob Smith, Billy No Mate's team. Loving that name. We got Wolski in the Road Runners Motors. Paro in 28th with Anderson. I keep going a blank. Anderson currently 28th. Zdanov in 30th. Jackie currently in 31st. We got Best. We've also got Friedman. Oh god, here we go. We got a lot. I believe we got a lot of Polish drivers this season, and we got Strolski. We'll go with that. Post as well, and that is our current grid. We got 35 cars tonight. 35. It is going to be absolute chaos. Why on earth we chose Oulton Park of all places to start, I do not know. So it should be an interesting night, and like I said, it's going to be absolute chaos. So, like I said, it's going to be only a couple of minutes left of this session, and the guys just tuning in their M2s. A reminder as well, these M2s, there's not really much that you can tweak and change with a lot of the cars at the minute still in pit lane. There's not really much you can do to tweak and change these cars. They're pretty basic and easy to kind of just jump in and drive. So we'll see how they all get on. There is a driver coming into the final sector, and I would like to grab hold of them so I can do a lap into a 5. So 5 it is. Our good friend Varga. So what we're going to do is take a lap around this fantastic circuit of Oulton Park. You make sure you get a good exit out of the final corner and then head over the hill and then start your lap, making sure you stay to the left hand side for the shortest run to the line. As you head down towards turn number 1, brake it just as you get to the fence and try and turn into 1 as there's a slight dip on the inside. Don't let the car run wide as you will get track limits as you then head over to turn 2, which is a slight crest to the right, and then you brake for turn 3, trying to get the front to turn in and hug the inside of the circuit about halfway through the corner and then start getting on the power, and then head down to the very fast left-hander of 4. And just brake, drop down a gear, get the front to turn in as you go through the ball. Very easy to run wide and then into the barriers. You head then to 5, braking down all the way to second gear. You won't really touch first gear in these cars. Get a good exit and a good run. Car in front is showing that he's getting out of the way as we go through 5, heading now towards 6, 7 and 8 chicane. Try and abuse as much as you can through the chicane, taking the curves as you possibly can, as Varga does not, and he goes through there relatively at ease. Into the second chicane. Nice to see Ben Rook in the chat saying season 9 with an exclamation mark. Throwing itself into the chicane now. We'll hop over the first curve and then try and hug the inside as much as you can through the tricky Knickerbrook corner. Try and don't take too much curve as you will bounce and head off wide just like that as you then head up the hill and then heading to the very fast end of the lap. I'm going to get the track names because I do remember some of them, but I can't remember them off the top of my head. Into the right-hander, very easy to run wide and very easy to understeer off the circuit, and Varga did a good job of not going off circuit there, but he manages to hook it back in, heading towards the final corner now of Lodge Corner. finally got the list of names. And again, very bumpy on the inside of that final corner, and through Dearly, and then heading down to the start finish line to a complete lap here of Oulton Park, and he does not improve, and he stays where he is currently 24th at the minute. But at the minute, your fastest is excuse me, your fastest at the minute is Minzy leading the way. Mizin. God, I am terrible at names. Really terrible at names. I made a right botch job of all of this. We've also got Paul in the chat saying, evening all, here we go. Season 9 is here. Yeah, baby. Tips in the chat saying, good evening all. That is it. That is our practice session done. First practice session of the season done. And here we go. We have got 35 cars here. 35. That is going to be absolute carnage around this circuit. But we'll see what they can do. As we've got Will Friedman now just completing his run and heading into the final corner. So first things first they will do is they got a qualifying session.
Green light, go, go, go.
And out they go for the qualifying session. 10 minutes of the session is going to be very important for these guys to find some space. And some of the rules here of SimPlay Motorsport is obviously one of the rules is that when you're doing qualifying and you enter into the final corner, when you enter the final corner, you should end up being in a kind of, you cannot overtake in the final sector. Basically, you can get yourself jostled and into positions here and now, but as soon as you get to that final sector, it is pretty much fair game. Hooper is the first man who got out, and it's an all MSA front row with Hooper, O'Reilly and Sylph all at the front there. It's nice to see the MSA boys back in the strong numbers that they are. Tips in the chat, this should be a good race, lol. 35 cars is crazy. 35 cars around Oulton Park. I mean, to be fair, if we were anywhere else, I would be like, yes, let's go for it. But Oulton Park is just mad. And let's be honest as well, these cars are relatively small. They're relatively small and easy to negotiate. So, you know, imagine later on this week, and with the sign-ups that we've had, we got a lot of GT3 cars as well. So for the first round of the season, Oulton Park is going to be a madhouse. But yeah, let's see what these guys can do. And Hooper has already stuffed it, and he's now going to drop himself right to the back of the queue. So it's going to be our champion who is going to lead us off at our first qualifying session. Berserker in the chat, yep, it may be wild at the start. It's going to be chaotic. It's going to be absolute. I'm glad actually we got the ballast out the way for this one, because I think this could end up being, if there was a ballast, then we could end up having all sorts of carnage as well. So out the final corner, O'Reilly is now going to start his lap, and Sylph, I think, is just pulling off to the side as well. As they head down into the second part of the first sector, kind of get the front end, trying to hook up on the inside, does O'Reilly. A little bit of traffic overhead, but it should not affect him whatsoever. The track is kind of long enough so everyone can get around. And right now, O'Reilly is trying his very best to set the benchmark and see what he can do. But I do think that the Mins is looking very, very fast, and I think seems to be the threat already as we go into the first part of this. But it's all about being consistent, being on a roll, having the kind of like having the confidence in these cars. They're very, very strange. They're not your typical race car. You know, they're pretty much a bog standard road car, just slightly modified to become a race car. And obviously they're lightweight. You can see there's not a lot of actual like interior to the car. They understeer quite badly. Gear 1 is irrelevant. It's really, if they were in pit lane, they would get rid of them. So we shall see. Good to see season start again. Good luck to comms and racers. I'm gonna need it, Vitas. Your runner-up last season. He's been promoted to the pro for GT3s. We'll see how he gets on. But here comes O'Reilly. He's going to be the first man to set a lap time, and towards the line he comes. What's the benchmark? It's a 46.6. We got then Rob Ramsell coming to the line, and he goes 1.5 off the pace as Erish goes into P2. Nagonov is gone P4. Millington crosses line to go P5. We got DeBont straight on the pace, 3/10 behind O'Reilly between him and Friedman last season. Had a fantastic season fight. Skunky, nice to see him back and feeling fresh as ever, looking to improve on what he can do as Flop goes P8. Matt Wright goes to P9 with that lap time. Do we have any more cars coming to the line? We got Aberdeen, who now goes up into P8. Hibbs, also a good lap time from him. He goes P5 to start the season off. McGowan looking like he's struggling a little bit there in 14th place position at this stage. Shabert has gone into P7. Michael Harris goes P9, but then just gets outdone as Mins goes into P2. So 1 and 2, leading it 1 and 2 at this moment in time. Yeah, that name is not happening. I did load up Translator, and I did translate it to Polish, and I tried to pronounce it, and it went horrendously wrong. So, yeah, I will try and learn these names later. DeMonster in the end goes 16th. We've got a couple other cars still set a lap. Hooper does not set a lap time yet, so we've got Sylph here flashing the lights. Obviously, he wants some clean air. He's got the car coming towards the final sector now as the 208 of Friedman. Has he got a lap time on the board? Yes, he has, and it puts him P7 with that one. Kowalski goes into Kozłowski goes into P5. As you see, Ramsell goes back up to P9. I believe O'Reilly hasn't improved on. He has improved ever so slightly. He's now done a 46.4 opposed to his 46.6. So O'Reilly looking good at the moment, looking strong. But like I said, Min's looking to try and improve. You see a lot of cars here trying to get out of the way. DeBont there still in P3, P4 is still Skunky. So lap times are improvement. Again, Schwarbeck goes up to P8. We've got a lot of cars coming to the line. None making a big jump to the front yet. They'll work their way down towards the middle sector now. You see there, look, Harris currently 17th at the minute. O'Reilly has been outdone by Mins, who's gone fastest overall. He's top of the session, so can anyone get near these two? At the minute, they're both half a second clear of the rest of the pack at the minute. So O'Reilly and Mins looking very, very strong at this stage. As I think the 41 is that coming to like 46. Jacket doesn't quite go any faster there. Also got Crespo coming to the final corner. Let's see if there's any improvement from him. O'Reilly meanwhile doesn't go any faster. Don't know why that's done that. O'Reilly does not improve. He stays 2/10 off the back. And more does Freeman. Erish though, P6 still 1.1 off the pace. Saw an improvement further back. That was Sylph. He gets himself into 13th place position. So Sylph just trying to find place and trying to just find a few tenths there just to improve. And then heads into the middle sector now. He's got a little bit of traffic up ahead, and there we see a car off, luckily not hitting the barrier, not hitting the wall. Again, the top guy is just struggling. McGowan now going up into P4 is with his teammates Skunky. They're close together and they're working their way to the front. Said, even this qualifying session has been a little bit chaotic. These could be fun. They could be brilliant, Matt. As oh my God, I'm not even going to attempt that name. I'm just going to call him Jay. I'm going to call him Jay. for now. Jay goes in 11th place position. Until I actually get the proper pronunciations of these names, then I'm not even going to attempt to try and pronounce them. But Jay goes into 11th place. We'll stick with Jay for now. I think it's the 21 coming into the final sector. Yes, it is. It is Kowalski who exits the final corner. He's currently P7 at the minute. Crosses the line. And no improvement there. Car behind doesn't improve either. Was that improvement? It might have been. Yes, it was. So we go back to the front. Riley's done for the session. He cannot improve. The number 4, Irish, comes to the line. And no improvement either. We've got Rob Ramsell there also. Where is Rob on the standings? He's having a good session at the minute. He's currently 13th. 1.3 off the pace at the minute. We've got Will Friedman who's done as well. So we've got a lot of cars now coming to the line. We've got a Schwarber who's now into the final corner, just behind McGowan by the looks of things. So we'll go on board with McGowan. And we'll see what McGowan can do. Coming to the line, no improvement. And nor does Schwarber. He doesn't improve either. So the drivers there just struggling to find a little bit more time. You can see people trying and pushing too hard. Hibbs has gone way off there as they try and find the last few tenths of a second that they can buy. Skunky, meanwhile, has put his M2 up into second place. He's found an improvement. Mizzen has not improved and will start currently on pole position. How wide goes Skunky, so he won't improve either. So we'll see what the likes of DeBont and McGowan and a few others can do. It's in the final sector now. It's the 4-4-1. That is Hooper. He has not put a lap time on the board, so he will start from the back of the pack. The 41, I think that is now coming to the final sector. I cannot see, and they're not there. They've gone now, so no improvement for there. Irish then. Irish coming to the final corner. That is Lodge corner, trying to get a good exit out. Lodge heading through the elite. To the line he comes. Any improvement? He does improve, but does not change position. That is a big shame for him. We've got the 40, I believe, coming to the line. That is Crespo coming to the line. What is he going to do? He finally gets a lap time on the board and puts himself into 25th position. Smith on a run. Who else is on a lap and into the final sector? Flop is on his way, but we go on Sedanov coming to the line. Any improvement? No improvement for him. McGowan crosses the line and does not improve. He stays 5th overall. So really no one on a lap except for the guys who we are on board with now. Flop does improve ever so slightly. The monster now, the last car to cross the line. Only Siders coming to the line and only goes to 18th place. So a very thick and fast qualifying session there. And it is Mins who will take the pride in the first session and takes pole position here. And what a lap from him. Great stuff. So we'll get our first pole of the night going. Our race one winner. Get your predictions in on this one. And what a start already. O'Reilly on a little bit of a back foot there, starting P3. He's got a bit of a challenger with Mins and also with Skunky there as well for a good measure. So guys, if you haven't done so, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to be notified as we bring you all the action here tonight. It is going to be some great racing. And like I said, it's nice to see some familiar faces to the front and some new faces as well. And like I said, as the season has just begun, make sure you head over to the SimGrid. Make sure you head over to our Discord as well. Get yourself signed up to the championship. If you've joined the server and joined the Discord, make sure you get your hot stints done as well. If you've not got your hot stints done, then you will not be able to race. And please, everyone, make sure you have the correct settings based on SimGrid. If they are not matching to what we have, then we will not be able to get it correctly set up. We've already had one glitch already tonight where someone didn't have the correct settings, so make sure you get that done as well, as we're about to get underway for the first race and the formation lap about to begin. Friedman did not make the start on that one, so Friedman will start from pit lane, which is a shame, as Mins gets going and he's alongside Skunky on the front row. So let's have a quick run through of who is where. I want that camera ready, and I don't know what buttons I'm pressing now. There we go. So Mins start on pole position with Skunky starting alongside him. O'Reilly will start third with the Bont for him for company. We got McGowan P5 with Schraubert in 6th place position. Kowalski in 7th with Erish in 8th. Sylph will start 9th. 10th will now be Hibbs. Jay will start in 11th place with Ramsel starting 12th. 13th will be Post with Zdanov starting still 14th. Nagonov will start in 15th with Flop in 16th. 17th will then be De Monster. Matt Wright will be moved up to 18th. 19th will be Harris. Marston in 20th. Aberdeen will go 21st with Jacka into 22nd. Strolski will start 23rd with Crespo in 24th. Wilbrick in 25th. Millington in 26th. Addison in 27th with Smith 28th. Varga 29th. Wolfsky in 30th. Johnson starting 31st. Hooper 32nd. Paro 33rd, and Best starting to the back. 999 or 911 is your choice, De Bont. Let's go, De Bont, says Berserker in the chat. This is going to get really interesting as well. I also want to say a massive thank you to our Patreons as well, who have supported the channel, and with their support has allowed the channel to grow more and more, and obviously with everyone as well. And also I want to say a massive thank you to our sponsors who are in the description below. Thank you to Design Manchester and Audio Sport as well. Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts, mugs, printed clothing, and much more, including SimPlay merchandise. Audio Sport, manufacturers of VW Transporter, T4 audio solutions and styling products. Head over to www.audiosport.co.uk and have a look at our Facebook page, our Instagram, Discord, Twitter and TikTok as well. Make sure you follow all those wonderful things. As we're about to get underway for the first round of the season, we are here at the Whodarron Cup, running at Oulton Park. It is Mins who will start on pole position with Skunky alongside. Can O'Reilly take another Whodarron Cup championship? We shall see as they now enter the final corner. We will go into helicopter cam, and here we go for the first time this season as we're about to get underway here with the first round of the season. And we are green and go, heading down towards turn number 1. Looks like Min's got the best start off the line, and now Skunky goes into turn 1 as O'Reilly looks to the inside, but they all run a little bit wide. Let's have a look further down the pack. Have we managed to negotiate turn number 1 relatively clean? Yes, we have, as we head down towards the first couple of corners, as Friedman already gets himself a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as we are underway and fairly clean here at Oulton Park, and we make the first couple of corners heading down towards now the middle sector. As you can see, a load of cars here, there and everywhere currently on board, with a Flop at the minute who's working their way into the fast left-hander, and once again very clean for the first couple of corners here. But it is, we go back to the front. Mins is now leading the way with Skunky, with a little bit of pressure of O'Reilly behind De Bont with there as well, and Schwarber had a very good start, moving up into 5th place position and working his way through the order, and everyone else also feeding themselves into each other's position, and a great way to start the season. No silly incidences whatsoever as they then head down towards the second chicane. Very clean and fair so far. Monster there looking to make a move earlier on, but not able to get the job done, and is still looking to make a move going around the outside here. By the list of things, he's going to be on the wrong side of the circuit as they head up towards the tight section of Clay Hill, Watchtower, and then into Druids Corner. There are cars absolutely everywhere as they work their way through Druids Corner. And a great little move there from the Monster, getting the switch underneath and gains a position there and goes on through. Great little race here. To go into the final corner. Meanwhile, Skunky losing touch to Mins at the minute, who's pulling away at the moment. Everyone into the top 10 by the looks of things in a nice single file flow. O'Reilly, though, the only one to set a lap time at the minute at the front by the looks of things. We've got a move here. I think that was, it looked like Flop, and it was Matt Wright looking to make a move, but in the middle of that was Swarovski, who's also had a moment and has now split these two. So he's dropped further back. And then working their way through the middle sector here. Still going through the fast left hand here, trying to stick with the pack ahead, but at the minute it is all fair and clean. As we've got a car off, that looks like Hibbs. Yes, it is. He's going to make the gap. He's going to wait for the rest of the pack as they all come flying through. So Hibbs is the first one to make a mistake here, and what a shame. It's going to drop him to the back of the pack. But DeBont now looking to give O'Reilly and Skunky a little bit of a headache, and that is just allowing them all to just bunch up a little bit, and Mins pulling away out in front. So if Hibbs now returning to the circuit, we got here Harris now going up the inside of Niganov, and I've still got that one. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. Either way, the number 44 has dropped behind Harris as we now got another car coming on the attack. I think Flop is looking to make a move, but Swarovski is also giving him a little bit of a headache with Matt Wright just behind him as well. So it's all building up a little bit towards the back of the pack. A very bad place to make a mistake indeed it is. There is a car off who has made a mistake, and that looks like, who is that? It's not De Monster, it's Zhdanov. Zhdanov's made a mistake in trying to return back on circuit as safely as he possibly can. But it is Mins pulling away still from Skunky, O'Reilly and DeBont. And then you've got Schwarber, McGowan, Erish, Kowalski, Silth and Jay all relatively close. Post not too far behind him as well. Ramsell just keeping on to tabs if anything bad happens between this gaggle of cars. But at the minute, the pack is spreading out relatively quickly at the minute. We've got obviously the guys pushing hard towards the front. And it was all nicely, tightly packed at the minute, which is great to see. So going through the second chicane there, and it looks like McGowan is just struggling a little bit through there and has just fallen into the clutches of Erish at the minute, who's looking to be quite feisty at the minute in that P7 position. Oh, look like Silth there looking to, he's lost the position to Jay there, so Silth got caught napping a little bit there, and the 21 there, sorry, not the 21, the 116 managing to get the jump, and Silth now looking to try and come back at him. Go on board with Self, and he's coming back up the inside of the 116, and Jay they're just having to hold him off a little bit, but not able to get the job done there, and has just have to fall back into position. Meanwhile, Jaworski is now onto the back of Flop by the looks of things, and Flop's made a mistake. Flop goes very defensive straight away, and to the inside he depends of the final corner of Lodge Corner, but he's got a bit too deep, but there's contact there, and Jaworski pushes him off wide and makes a mistake, and damage done to his car as well, so Flop will drop further back and everyone else will capitalise on that one. Where did Flop in the end drop to? He dropped to 20th position after that, so he's got a lot of recovering to do now. Still Mins out in front, pulling away quite comfortably ahead of Skunky, ahead of O'Reilly and ahead of DeBont. Schwarber now P5, and McGowan ahead of Erish, ahead of Kowalski, ahead of Jay, and Silth now looking to try and gain that position back as they go through the right-handers here. Again, all the The pack is starting to spread out, but there's still some really close fights at the minute. As we go to the back here, Smith on the back of Wolski as well. Bester struggling towards the back of this pack, but he's sticking with it. He's going with it. Johnson, meanwhile, got a bit of pressure from Hibbs. Hibbs looking to the outside. Looking to go around the outside, have the inside for the next part of the corner. And Hibbs sends it, and job done. Hibbs move up another position, but there's a car facing the wrong way. That is Millington, I believe. That is Millington facing the wrong way. And he's managing to get going once again, as McGowan still under immense pressure from Irish. Meanwhile, Skunky doing a fabulous job of keeping O'Reilly and DeBont behind. And now Schwarber still defending heavily from McGowan. It looks like we have a kind of an ebbing and flowing situation here, where some cars seems to be able to get the advantage, while others just seems to be off the pace ever so slightly. We've got Varga there making a mistake. I think he's lost a few positions there, or he's lost a little bit of momentum on that one. Yellow flag. Oh, there's a car off big time. Who was that? Who was that? I think it was Varga. Varga went very, very wide. So yeah, Varga making a massive mistake there. And he's just dropping down the order. We got here Skunky and O'Reilly and DeBont still close to each other. I love how these guys race. They get very, very close to one another, and the respect is given. O'Reilly's made a mistake there, and here comes DeBont. DeBont and O'Reilly had an awesome season. An awesome season, and DeBont down the inside can't get the job done. O'Reilly's a little bit deep into the second part of the corner. Friedman saying a horrid first race for me. Yeah, it's not quite gone to plan for yourself there, Will, as he'll try and have to recoup and come back for race 2. That's a good thing about this championship. There's 3 races, so there's 3 opportunities to come back. Irish, meanwhile, is still giving McGowan and Schwarber a hard time at the minute. And Schwarber doing his very best to keep them behind. You can see how close McGowan's got. Schwarber going a little bit hard, wide. And here comes Irish up the inside. Can he get the job done? And McGowan trying to brake later, but contact made there as McGowan hits him, and that's given the opportunity to Irish. And here comes the entire pack. We've got Kowalski, we've got Jay in there as well, and Silth all close into this battle. And that all started with the slight contact from McGowan to Schwarber going into the final corner of Lodge Corner. But down the inside, Irish goes through, and job done. And they all managed to work their way through the first couple of corners, but Irish gets the job done around the outside. Here comes Jay sending it on Kowalski. So he now loses out. Meanwhile, a bit of a shove there from McGowan there, as him and Irish are still going at it wheel to wheel. And down the inside once again, McGowan, they're still side by side going through the fast left-hander of Island Bend, and they're now into Shell Oil's corner, and still they're side by side. A great racing so far, and they're still at it. McGowan trying to hold off that position, but Irish, I think, will finally get the job done.
We are at the halfway mark. Keep pushing.
And Irish makes the position done. Meanwhile, McGowan's just lost one position. He's now under pressure from Jay, the 116, and he's understeered wide, and contact made, and Silth is going to benefit from all of that. Round the outside, Silth, the MSA driver, collecting them positions up and swooping through. Meanwhile, we've got a back market in the way of the leaders. Skunky, meanwhile, has lost some time to O'Reilly and DeBont. But Mins, meanwhile, far out in front and pulling away at the moment, looking good in his chrome car. And further back, O'Reilly and DeBont still going wheel to wheel, really pushing the limits here. And Irish now pulling away very quickly already from Silth, Kowalski, and now Post, who's just behind them. Ramsell gaining a few positions. DeMonster dropping down to 11th, with Harris now 12th. McGowan in 13th place position after that, as Jay has now recovered. And Matt Wright still holding off Aberdeen, Flop, and Schrolski. and Crespo there in 20th position. Marsden, Will Brink in the back there as Hooper slowly worked his way up to 23rd. Hibbs 24th, Johnson 25th, Varga 26th, and Jackal in that Jacka in 26th. Zdanov moving another position though up ahead of him, and it's all been a little bit chaotic towards the front end of the pack as they now start to find a way through. Tordog said, look at himself and his teammate down. To be fair, Tordog, his start of this qualifying didn't quite go to plan. I forgot to end the poll, and a three-way fight at the minute between O'Reilly, Mins, and DeBont. And at the minute, Mins looking very, very good at the minute. Schwarber now holding off that P5 position comfortably ahead of Airish. And Sylph hanging that MSA BMW a bit wide. He's now getting under some pressure from Kulski, and just behind him as well is Post. So Post is now starting to be a little bit of a headache. Ramsel now under pressure from DeMonster, Harris, and McGowan. So these guys all have Constantine it up, and it's about to get juicy indeed as we now come towards the final quarter of this race. Like I said, these guys are pushing right to the limit. These cars are great fun when you're pushing. As they now head towards the start finish line, is the Monster trying to hunt down Ramsel, but can't find a way through at this stage. I was going to leave the servers so I can get the highlights on, but I don't think that's going to happen the way the servers are working here. As we see here, O'Reilly for a split second looked like he was going to make a move on Skunky, but couldn't quite get the job done. DeBont there just behind him as well. So these guys all hottening up at the minute. It's only race one and my voice is already gone. And heading down towards the chicane now. We still got Skunky holding these two off brilliantly. They take too much curve, the car will become unsettled. But these M2s well adapted for that though. Sylph still under pressure from Kowalski. Meanwhile, further back, Ramsel's under pressure from DeMonster, who's going to look to around the outside, but can't get the job done there. I'll have to think of a new plan later on. Everyone else in order, so as we've got 5 minutes left of the session, it is Mins who are well out in front. Skunky from O'Reilly, from DeBont, from Schwarber, from Airish, from Sylph, from Kowalski, from Post, from Ramsel, from DeMonster, Harris, McGowan, Jay. Then we've got Naganov in P15, Wright in 16th, Aberdeen, Flop, Crespo, Marsden, Hoopert, Wilbrink, Hibbs, Schwarski, but he's off big time. He's dropped down in order, and then he's got Varga, Johnson, Jacket, Millington, Wolfski, Smith, Paro, Mars. Oh my god, we can see the state of that car as Anderson's got major damage to his car. I think that thing's crabbing as well at best, and Friedman returning to the pits for those guys. For a minute there, O'Reilly got under a tenth of a second on Skunky, so these three are still locked nose to tail. Meanwhile, Kowalski's still giving Sylph a hard time, and Sylph definitely not the easiest person to overtake. So Kowalski's going to have to think of something clever here to try and find a way through, and clean, of course, to get the job done. Hoopert now on the move. Onto the back of Marsden. They both run very close to the limits of the left-hander as they now go through Shell Oil Corner and around the outside. Hoopert gets the job done. A nice move indeed from him. And the buncher seems to have dropped off these two at the minute. Not able to stick with second and third at the moment. But heading down towards the final corner now. Skunky still doing a fantastic job to keep them behind. Meanwhile, Schwarber is being caught by Erich very, very quickly. Erich looking very fast at the stage of the race and looking to try and catch the 20 car. Obviously, as well, I forgot to mention the coloured numbers. There are a reason why some drivers are coloured and others are a different one. In the Whodarron Cup, we have a class settings based on our hot stints that's able to categorize where you guys are racing, and we have gold, silver and bronze. The gold drivers are the guys in white, and then you have the silver drivers who are in grey, and then our bronze drivers who are in red. So you see majority of the top group have been the gold guys, except for Schwarber, who's looking very good at the minute in that 20 car. So Riley there for a split second looked like he might have a bit of an overrun on Skunky, but not quite. He's pretty much pushing Skunky along here. Just behind him there, we go on board with them. Yes, Mins has nailed this race. Very controlled and well out in front, but O'Reilly still trying to give Skunky something to think about, but at the minute Skunky's done such a good job of holding him off. Erich is getting close to Schwarber, but not quite close enough. Kowalski still can't do anything about Sylph. Like I said, we just seem to be in a stage where the drivers are just coming towards the end, just struggling to find any more opportunities to work their way through. We are now on board with Harris and McGowan, who are heading down towards the fast flowing sections of Clay Hill, Watchtower and Druids Corner. And there Harris getting close. Oh, he touched too much of the curb, and that's going to put him under pressure here from DeMonster. DeMonster's now going to look to try and make a move. He's going to go to the outside of the final corner of Lodge Corner, but he's not going to get the job done there. Harris, though, is holding him off. But this is going to compromise them and allow McGowan to disappear. DeMonster, though, with a much better exit, is going to go to the inside of the circuit. That's going to put him on the outside of turn 1. And not quite where he'll want to be, and has to fall back into position. As DeMonster now tries to find a new opportunity to find a way through. Once again, O'Reilly still giving Skunky an absolute headache right now as they go through the banked corner of the hairpin, heading into the second chicane of Britons, and through Britons they go. Skunky still managing to hold off. Mins, meanwhile, way out in front in the chrome number 2, looking very, very strong for this one. Erich now right on the back of Schwarber, and Sylph still under pressure from Kowalski, so Kowalski's not giving up on this just yet, as McGowan's again, Harris is right onto the back of him pretty quickly, so McGowan struggling here. Flop now attacking Aberdeen as well. Matt Wright dropping behind them, so Matt Wright's had a moment. Hooper, meanwhile, he's also on the move, looking to make an opportunity through Bittens here, and through he goes and catches out Gresbo there, and a great job there from him, and beautiful move once again. Hooper making some great moves at this stage. Mins now crosses the line to start his final lap here, and Skunky is managing to hold off O'Reilly. He's just got one more lap to go, and he's got DeBont right behind him. Schwarber, meanwhile, still defending heavily as Erich now looking to go around the outside, and now looking to take turn number 1. But Schwarber does a great job. Erich, oh, you see the back of the car sliding a lot there, and that's going to allow Sylph just to look a little bit more interested. He's coming back into it, and he brings Kowalski with him as well. And through turn number 1, turn number 4, there you go. 3, yeah. As it heads out towards turn number 4, and right now Schwarber doing the best he can to defend O'Reilly, once again under pressure from DeBont. And Schwarber still holding off those positions. Ramsel, meanwhile, defending from McGowan, Harris, and DeMonster all close to one. McGowan goes a little bit wide. He's into the marbles. And down the inside does Harris go. Meanwhile, that's a car off. I'm not sure who that is, but they're not a part of this scrap either way. As you look back to your leader at the minute coming through the final few corners here, and Skunky still holding off for that second place position. Erish not quite got Schwarber yet. And you can see here Ramsel defending heavily from McGowan. McGowan thinking about sending it into the second chicane, but can't get the job done. Meanwhile, we need to look into the penultimate corner of Mins, who is going to take a debut win here at SimPlay Motorsport. Takes pole position, takes fastest lap, and will take the first win of the season. Mins wins race 1 here, and a solid job from him. Second place is going to go the way of Skunky, ahead of O'Reilly and ahead of De Bont. A great driving from those guys. Schwarber, meanwhile, has made a mistake. He's gone wide. Is Erish going to get him? Is Silt going to get him? They're coming to the line. It's going to be neck and neck, and I think it's Erish to the line. Takes 5th place, ahead of Schwarber, ahead of Silt, ahead of Kowalski. Post here. Comes across into 9th place. Ramsel 10th, McGowan in 11th, Harris 12th, DeMonster in 14th. Jay crosses the line in 14th place position. Nagunov into 15th, Aberdeen 16th, Flop into 17th. Hooper in the end works his way up to 18th place. Matt Wright 19th, Crespo 20th, Will Brink in the end 21st ahead of Hibbs. Zdanov is going to finish in 23rd. And Marsden in 24th. Varga is going to finish in 25th position. Millington, I think, is going to hold off Shrorsky. He goes a little bit wide. Jacket is going to finish in 28th. Wolski 29th. Smith in 30th. Paro in 31st. Johnson finished 32nd ahead of Anderson in 33rd. Bestie and Friedman not able, did retire from that one. Talked about Mr. Davis after the race. Could you please have a look at the fastest lap? I would like to know the time. Well, here you go. The fastest lap was a 1:46.2 done by Mins there for the race. And that is your result. Mins is your race winner ahead of Skunky and ahead of O'Reilly. We'll be back in a few moments' time. We're going to go to a quick break, and we will have the second qualifying session underway in a few moments' time. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we now get things back underway for our second qualifying session here. And obviously the way the Whodarron Cup's second qualifying session is shortened. Obviously these cars aren't particularly fast either, so with the shortened the session and the chances of qualifying on pole position a lot less, this now offers opportunities for drivers to drivers who are able to capitalize on the very best, so able to get that one lap. So 7 minutes is the session. It's going to take them 2 minutes to get around, so it is literally a 5-minute qualifying session, about 1, 2, maybe 3 laps depending on where we are. And I know we're at Spa this season, so it could be a very interesting race at Spa-Francorchamps to see how they all manage to get around there as quickly as they possibly can for qualifying. Mins though looking very, very good towards the start of this season, taking the first win of the season. Question is he able to keep that momentum up and take another pole position here and start from the front? With the 7-minute qualifying session, it is going to be tricky, it is going to be difficult, and that is the whole point of that. And it offers an opportunity for others to try and steal a point if they possibly can. So going into the final corner now, as O'Reilly once again is going to be the first man to set a lap here, and he's going to be out in front. Let's see what he can do. What lap times can he produce? And can he stop Mins having a dominant night? A very dominant first race there. Like I said, fastest lap, pole position, and ends up winning the race as well. Will they race at Bathurst in this? Yes. Bathurst Mount Panorama is on the calendar as well. That's a point actually. I will actually get, the calendar's all loaded up and ready. So once we get into the end of the qualifying session, I will bring up the calendar, because it is an interesting calendar. And to be fair, I love this calendar. For me, it's the ultimate calendar. Probably all of my circuits where I'm headed to be good at. And to be fair, it's going to be an interesting one, especially for these M2s, Berserker very happy about Bathurst being on the calendar. As you see a back marker just getting straight out the way there of the leaders, as O'Reilly has been towing Hooper around. This season in these is going to be spicy. It is indeed, with the understeer as well. Managing the mountain with the understeer is going to be incredibly difficult, I think. And yeah, it's going to be whoever's got the biggest balls going through the mountain, let's put it that way. As we come into the final corner now, O'Reilly is going to set the pace unless he has invalidated his lap time. To the line he comes, he hasn't, and does a 46.6. Still goes within 3/10 behind him as well. Hooper did invalidate his lap time, so he won't set a lap time. Bolton up the MSA. Flop in P3 at the minute. Skunky now sets a lap time, but he's obviously got a little bit of track. He's got his teammate in front of him. Telling Sil to up his game. 3/10 off of O'Reilly. I think that's pretty good. Hibbs now crossing the line, goes into P5. Schwarber looking good again. P4 at the minute. Zdanov crosses the line, goes P6. And once again, Mins crosses the line, does not go fastest this time. 3/10 of a second off at the minute. So needs to find a little bit more time. Wolski crosses the line, goes to P12. Kind of a running lap for him there. Xhaka goes across the line and goes into 11th place. De Bont again just psyching a lap out. It's a great calendar for racing, in my opinion. Might have to hop in them and get them to lock in, says Bolton. Jay now goes into P5. Oh, there's a car off big time. That is the 420. That is Marsden. He's had an off. So that's going to affect his run at the minute. But O'Reilly now comes to the final corner. And let's see what lap time he can produce here. Currently a 46.6. He's going to get another lap in as well. So this will be their last lap here. Hooper now gets within a 10th, as does Sylph. So the MSA boys within a 10th and a half of each other. Irish Dead gets with him as well. And we see what Mins can do as well. See what he can produce. Ramsel now goes into P8, but drops further back because Skunky stops the MSA dominance there and splits them from O'Reilly. Can Skunky produce another decent lap time? As we have to keep an eye on Mins as well. Friedman puts himself up into P8. Schwarber at P7. But here comes Mins now, just behind he goes fastest with a 45.7. Wow. And he goes back to the pits. He's done. Oh, wow. What a lap time there. Mins setting the pace there. Boom. Fastest of them all. Impressive lap time. Hooper back in pit lane. Wow, that's a quick lap time from him. We just had another car cross the line. DeBont puts himself into 5th place position. Wow, what a lap time. Absolutely brilliant. So, yeah, see what anyone else can do at this stage. We got Schwarber there just behind McGowan. Where's McGowan at the minute? McGowan currently down in 22nd position. Matthew Duffin, holy hell, 45, saying that is the boss is P5. We have 3 in the top 5. MSA are goated. Well, as O'Reilly crosses the line, he finds a 10th, but could not find any more. I don't think Sylph can either. He's off the pace as Irish crosses the line. He can only go P7. Ramsel improves to go 12th. Here comes Skunky. Has he? He's managed to get O'Reilly on the line once again. So Skunky will start on the front row once again. McGowan does go up to 11th place position with that one. Friedman crosses line. Only 9th for him. So Aberdeen off as well. Here we go. Zdanov coming to the line. What can he do? 18th place position. He goes 14th for that one. A car coming to the line there. That is Matt Wright, who seems to be struggling a little bit in these M2s. 19th place position for him. As Wolski now has got a little bit of damage to the front end of his car. Not sure who's behind him. That's the 995. As Wolski comes to the line, does not improve. Harris now also on a line, on a run. As Bolton says, Hooper got to represent. He's got to do something. Harris is the last one to complete a lap time here. Currently 30th overall. What can he do? Crosses the line, and what's it going to be? 16th in the end. But what a lap time there from Mins. He ends up being on pole position once again, and yeah, fastest of the session with 45.7. DeBont, sorry, managers, I missed that. DeBont actually ended up 2nd in the end ahead of Skunky. So can DeBont give Mins a little bit of a hard time? That is the question. So what a qualifying session there. Very, very close between the behind, but Mins with that advantage, a brilliant lap time as well. As we now get the pole going once again. So I believe it's the same at the front, but in a different order this time round. Got DeBont on the front row. Can he do anything about Mins? That is the question. It's nice to see some lovely ads on our stream. For you guys, it might be incredibly annoying. For us, it helps us massively here on the channel. As here we go. Berserker in the chat saying, damn, that's clean. Jamal Clouden, that's a mental time. Berserker, another serious rival for DeBont. And we are going to get ourselves ready and raring to go for the second race here. As you see there, Min's now pulling away. So once again, a quick run through of the grid order. It is Mins who's on pole position. This time alongside with him is DeBont. Skunky in P3 with O'Reilly P4. Then we got Hoop at P5 with P6 going the way of Silt, who by the sound of things might be getting sacked as Torok and Bolton ain't too happy. He's behind all the other MSA drivers. Arish starting P7, Jay P8, Friedman P9. In P10 will be DeMonster, Schwarbert P11, McGowan P12, Ramsall 13th, Zdanov 14th, Flop 15th, Harris 16th, Aberdeen 17th, Shaworski in 18th, Naganov in 19th, Hibbs 20th, Wright in 21st, Minute in 22nd, Jacket in 23rd, Marston 24th, Varga 25th, Johnson 26th, Wolski from Anderson, from Best, from Kresbo, from Kowalski, Wilbrink, and then Paro bringing off the rear. Matty Wright showing in the plat pace, says Langley in the chat. You can see how you get on in the gold category in the pro later on in the week. And Cummings in the chat, get on Skunky. It's going to be an interesting race nonetheless. See what DeBont can do against Mins, that's the question. As he's going to be starting alongside him this time round. So make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified. And if you haven't done so, head over to our sim grid, head over to our Discord, and get yourself involved. Make sure you do your hot stint, so you are able to race here at SimPlay Motorsport. And also a massive thank you to our sponsors as well, Design Manchester, and also Audio Sports as well. So give them a follow on all their social medias, as we are about to get things underway here for the second race tonight. The polls out for who you think is going to win this one, as we now see them all go 2 by 2. Is going to be DeBont for the Greasy Bandits Racing ahead of Mins on the front row. The 999 versus the number 2, who's going to come out on top. We now wait for starters orders. And we are green and go here at Oulton Park for the second time tonight. Down towards turn number 1, and DeBont's going to try and give it a good go around the outside. He's managed to get the jump, and he's gone right round the outside of Mins and gets the job done. And DeBont leads into turn number 2. What a move around the outside. I don't know if it was, he's probably taken track limits to get the job done, but he has managed to work his way through. A car has dropped to the back of the pack, but everyone else relatively clean as they go through. And DeBont gets the job done and leads the way. Now, what is Mins going to do? We got a car off there. I think that is Schwarbert. Is it Schwarbert? Yes, it is. But he manages to get back on track, and not an unsafe rejoin either. And it was Benny Varga who's dropped to the back of the pack as well. And once again, other than Varga, relatively clean through the first couple of corners and few half of this race. But De Bont leads the way after a great start right around the outside. What can Mins do? Can he find the job done around the outside just as De Bont did? Or he's going to have to find a different way through. Meanwhile, further back, we got Zdanov, who's under pressure from Harris. Harris now looking to go through the chicane, but he can't find a way through there. And he's going to have to wait for a better opportunity. Meanwhile, and Nagonov is really struggling through there. Matt Wright close behind him and looking for an opportunity to go through, with Millington not too far behind either, as they then work their way through the fast right-handers. And once again, De Bont holding off the pack, but Mins ready to pounce and attack when is the best opportunity to do so. Meanwhile, further back, we've got a car running a little bit slow. It is Hibbs who's looking to make the move on Aberdeen, but Aberdeen closes the door off. And Hibbs cannot get the job done. Shaworski now onto the back of Harris, but can't find a way through either. So all these guys looking fast and furious at the minute at the start of this race. Sylph meanwhile goes wide, and Hooper now looking to come through. He's going to be on the outside of the kink, and he goes through. He gets the job done. Erish though right behind him and ready to give him a hard time once again. But De Bont leads the way, but he's already going very defensive. He has to defend the inside as Mins has a much better run through the left-hander. And Mins looking to go around the outside of Island Bend. He's not going to get the job done. He's going to have to back out on that one. But if he goes too aggressive, O'Reilly's going to come on through. But De Bont keeping the pace around the banking, and Mins can't get the job done. De Bont holds off. Meanwhile, Hooper's made a mistake, and that's allowed Sylph to go back up the inside. And here comes Erish as well, looking to push his way through as well. Going to be on the outside, but then the inside for the chicane. And he will be barging his way through, but can't get the job done. And there's Jay as well, and DeMonster as well. All these guys close to each other. And what close racing here as they go into the chicane. And I believe that's Jay who's missed his braking, and all sorts of chaos there. Hooper's involved. Erish and Monster managed to get their way through as the Monster goes back up the inside of Hooper, and Hooper loses out on 2 positions. Freeman there onto the curb, as is McGowan, and Ramsell just sitting on the back of these lot waiting for more to happen so he can capitalise. Meanwhile, Mins under pressure from O'Reilly. O'Reilly looking to the outside. Mins makes a mistake. He hits the curb. He hits the gravel. And here comes Skunky. Skunky now looking interested as Sylph is once again nowhere near these guys, not able to give him a hard time. Sylph looking to try and capitalise while these guys are too busy fighting. But De Bont pulls away ever so slightly. And there's all sorts of carnage going on up and down the grid as you now look to Schwarber, who's looking up the inside of Millington. Millington runs wide, but Schwarber gets a little bit on the power too much, and the back end steps out. Schwarber now going up the inside of Millington and should get the job done into turn number 1. Yes, he will. And was Millington going to try and keep it strong around the outside? Yes, he does. And Millington holds on to that position. Who was that? That was Varga going down the inside of Shaworski. But Varga goes wide himself, and he's going to come back up underneath. So Varga gets the position but drops further back. We go back to the front. Meanwhile, De Bont still pulling away, fastest lap of the race, and Mins now struggling to keep touch with him. Okay, so the playback's a bit ahead. Okay, noted. Noted there. Langley, I will try and sort that out as best I possibly can. But either way, we then head down towards the chicane, and it's calmed down a little bit towards the front. Meanwhile, further back, we got Ramsell here. But towards the chicane we go. Ramsell defending off the back of Zdanov. Zdanov, oh, and Ramsell's made a mistake. He's ended up going straight on at the chicane. Zdanov goes through, and here comes Harris. He's now looking to make the move around on Ramsell, but unable to capitalise on that one. A bit of a bounce there for Matt Wright, as Millington still also fighting off a few cars, as Jay's gone off big time and facing the wrong way. A lot of cars having to go straight off at the chicane. Very odd there from those guys. Jay's not able to get back on track and just spinning around at this moment in time. And I think I'm going to lose my voice at the end of the season. I thought the GT4 was bad, but oh my god, this is chaotic. De Bont sends it into turn number 1, but Mins is trying to go with him. O'Reilly and Skunky, your top 4, relatively close to one another. Erish, meanwhile, sat P6. And he's got... who's that behind there? Sorry, that's Sylph and Erish. The Monster has got Hooper back for company again, and over Friedman, McGowan. And it's been a bit of a hectic first couple of laps here. We're on to lap 3 now. Everything seems to just to settle down a little bit. Mins goes a little bit wide there, and that's going to offer an opportunity for O'Reilly to get a little bit closer once again. The Monster having to defend from Hooper there, and Hooper trying to get a better run, but he can't do so, so he's going to have to fall into position. Meanwhile, further back, Friedman under pressure from McGowan. So McGowan was looking quite aggressive there, but has lost a little bit of pace. Harris also looking to attack Ramsell. As they're all pushing a lot here in the first stage of this race, the first half, as Sylph has got Irish for company once again. But Mins brought the gap down to De Bont. De Bont now going to be looking more in his mirrors than he is in front. Actually, no, if anything, De Bont's pulling away. So De Bont looking like he's got a decent race setup underneath him, with O'Reilly just in the toe of Mins at the minute, trying to go with the leaders. Skunky just off the pace a little bit at this stage, but you saw he was very defensive in the first part of the race. And meanwhile, Hooper's had a great run out to the final corner and heading towards turn number 1. The Monster defending heavily, and Hooper's going to try and go right round the outside. That's going to be track limits, but he's going to take it anyway. And Hooper gets the job done. Can Friedman now do anything about the Monster? He's probably going to take McGowan with him as well. What else is going on? Ramsell look like he's got a bit wide, and that's going to allow Harris to look to go up the inside of Isla Ben. Is he far enough alongside? That's the question. I think he is. So I think Ramsell's going to lose out here. Yes, he is, and through goes Harris. Here comes Hibbs now. He wants a bit of the action, but unable to get close enough. Ramsell, though, has to fall into position, and defending heavily there, as Aberdeen's now lost the position to Kowalski. He's now made a move through. He's now put himself up into that 18th place position. And Best leading bronze driver at the minute. He's actually giving, who's he racing against at the minute? He is, Crespo is just ahead of him, so he's giving him a bit of a hard time at the moment. Is Best. Your leading silver driver at the minute is Zdanov, and your leading gold is that of De Bont. And De Bont is looking cool, calm, and collected out in front. So far, no threat from Mins, who's seems to just be a little bit off the pace now in this second race. I think Mins just struggling to go with De Bont at the minute. I was going to say maybe the dirty air is affecting him, but not really affected too much in these cars, I don't think. As we now head towards turn number 1, Irish now very close to the back of Sylph, and is going to try and get a better run through turn 1. And at the minute, Irish not able to get the run. Hooper now pulling away from the Monster. Friedman and McGowan going with them all. We see here Ramsell not the best run through turn number 1. That's given Hibbs an opportunity to get a little bit closer. Yes, I am going to lose my voice. I'm definitely going to lose my voice with all this crazy racing here at SimPlay Motorsport. Skunky, meanwhile, has, even though he was looking good in race number 1 in that second place, you can see how much pace he was holding off O'Reilly and De Bont, I think, because they've managed to kind of be on the par with Mins out in front, and Mins just at the minute struggling to really get the gap down to O'Reilly struggling to get the gap down to Mins.
Not over yet.
And De Bont, though, at the minute, got this race under control. Any other fights going on at the minute? Hooper just ahead of De Monster. And Ramsell there still. Excuse me. Ramsell still heavily defending from Hibbs. And Hibbs now really close to the back of Ramsell, and again it's tricky here to try and find a way through at Oulton Park. Here we go, Hibbs getting a better run through the right-hander and already looking to make a move up the inside, but Ramsell covers him off. Can't find a way through there as Hibbs looks to try and get a better exit. You can see just behind him, holding off just behind him, and Matt Wright as well. So all these guys close to one another. His team are up behind Ramsell at the minute. O'Reilly's made a big... Oh, O'Reilly's off! O'Reilly is in the wall. Our champion has had a big moment, and he's ended up in the wall as just as Tordok was hyping up Team MSA. He's ended up making a big mistake and has ended up in the wall. And De Bont now still leads ahead of Mins, and Skunky now back up into P3 position. So O'Reilly making an uncharacteristic mistake there and drops in behind Hooper and the Monster now. So the leading MSA driver is now Sylph. Eat that, Tordok. all the hard time we've been giving Sylph tonight, and now he's at the top. So meanwhile, Hooper ahead of the Monster, and Craig has just jinxed them. Friedman now giving De Monster a bit of a hard time. McGowan's not able to go with him. Meanwhile, Mintz is now really pressurizing the back of De Bont. He's taken so much grass and curve there that he's going to lose him momentum as he go into a Lodge corner. And De Bont, though, is very good at sucking up the pressure, as he's been doing it a few times with O'Reilly and Friedman last season in the GT4 Ginettas. And he's showing his class once again. Oh, further back, who is that? I think that's a Danov who's gone off. Is this a Danov? No, it's the 44. We'll go with the 44. He's had a big moment and has ended up with damage to the back of his car. Mins, meanwhile, coming back once again to the rear of De Bont. Lucas Roth, that ain't no GT car. No, they ain't GT cars. As meanwhile, Mins has got a run on De Bont. Here we go, heading towards the chicane. De Bont gives him the racing room. Mins trying to find a way through, but he can't get the job done. And goes a little bit wide, does De Bont, and Mins now trying to get a better exit. He's got a better run. De Bont's going to have the inside. Mins to the inside, outside, sorry. But if he gets the job done on the outside, he'll have the inside for the next part of the chicane. He's going to give it a good go. And Mins around the outside. Job done. And now De Bont tries to come back underneath. He kicks it probably... Mins drops the rear. Oh, Mins making a big mistake there. Touches the outside curb a little bit too hard and drops the rear end of the vehicle and losing pace and momentum. And has dropped back behind. Now Skunky's wanting a fight. Sylph pulling away from Airish there. Meanwhile, O'Reilly has got back past Hoop. Where is Hooper? Where is Hooper? Hooper is down in 11th place. What has happened to him? Possibly made a mistake there. And yeah, he dropped down the order. Meanwhile, Mins under pressure now from Skunky. So the casuals now giving a little bit of a headache towards the front pack. At this rate, Sylph can end up towards the podium at this rate. And then Tordok is going to have to eat his own words. As we go through turn number one, Ramsell, meanwhile, still under pressure from here. Kowalski's got Matt Wright for company. We've got a yellow flag, a few cars in pit lane. That's Varga, Anderson, Best, and Flop. All in pit lane. McGowan now onto the back of Friedman. Friedman running a little bit wide there, keeping it together by the looks of things. And they're all just in a train at the minute. Mins, meanwhile, has already got onto the back of De Bont. Round two, here we go again. And De Bont leading the way for the Greasy Bandits racing, but right behind him is Mins, who's ready to come back at him, but Skunky's there, still slowly creeping onto the back of him. And here we go, action about to commence. Mins doing the best he can to try and get that win as well. He wants to make it a Grand Slam, but at the minute it's not going his way. Harris, meanwhile, under pressure from Hooper. now giving Harris something to think about as they go in the fast right-hander. Harris here just able to keep behind him at this stage. He's really getting the back end of that BMW out quite a bit here. It's really hurting his runs. We look to Hibbs here, who's also got Kowalski just behind him. It's a good little fight here. Ramsel trying to hold on to that 13th place position. Just ahead of him is Zdanov. As Hibbs looks to the inside, but here comes Kowalski. Also sending it on the brakes as well. He's going to get very, very close to the back end of Hibbs here. He's actually looking to make a run on Hibbs. He is looking to the inside, but he's not quite far enough. Is the 21, has to fall back into position. Island Bend is not really an overtaking opportunity, and nor is the banked hairpin. Of course, he has to find another way through. He gets a good exit out the hairpin, to be fair, but can't do anything with it. Also, the monster coming back at O'Reilly, so O'Reilly's damage probably hurting him quite a bit. And here we go once again. Mins is on the back of De Bont, and I think De Bont's made a slight opening. That's enough for Mins to have a look, but De Bont defends the inside. He's going to be able to push him wide, and Mins is going to try and keep it pinned. They stay side by side. Brilliant stuff here from these two. We go on board with Skunky, and Mins with the straight line advantage by looking there, but De Bont's still down the inside, and Skunky's there for oh, and Mins gets a slight tap. The slightest of taps. That's unsettled the car, and Mins still two side by side, but here comes Skunky, and Skunky looks to the inside momentarily, but Mins trying to find any way through on De Bont, and it is getting very, very close here. Here comes Skunky down the inside, no, he thinks better of it, and Mins now trying to find a way through on De Bont, but De Bont's doing everything that he needs to do right now. They are pushing one there, slight contact once again. Mins gets a bad exit. That's going to put Skunky on the back bumper. What great racing between these three at the minute, and De Bont doing everything that he possibly can to keep the two behind. Erish now also looking to give Sylth a little bit of a hard time here. Sylth now under pressure from the number 4 driver. And Erish there getting very, very close to the back of Sylth. We can see here as well. And De Bont pulling away at this moment in time. But how long will it take? Mins has been absolutely flying. And we'll keep an eye on the timer as well, because time is running out very quickly here. And Mins is running out of options. Hooper has got back past Zdanov. I did jinx them. You're right, I'll really just shut up now. Tordok really really messed that up. De Bont, meanwhile, still holding off Mins and Skunky. Here we go, round number 3, down towards the start-finish line. We've got one more lap. De Bont has got this final lap, so hang in there. He's got fastest lap of the race. He's got the win in hand. He's just down to him. Here we go towards the end of this race, and De Bont's doing everything he possibly can. Meanwhile, Skunky has dropped back. There goes Mins down the inside, but he's not going to get the run. He's not going to be able to get the momentum. Here we go towards the Island Bend corner. De Bont and Mins going at it. Oh, De Bont! No, he's on the grass. No, De Bont's gone wide. Oh, De Bont, the slightest mistake, and he's gone off. Back end gone round. Sylth is on the podium. Eat that, Tordok. Sylth is on the podium. But Mins waited for the time, waited for the opportunity, and he got the job done. He now leads from Skunky in second again, so you're 1-2 once again from the first race. What a race this has been. De Bont in the end dropping behind Erish and Sylth now. And there's a guy staying out the way. That is the 45. That is Peru staying out the way. But the Bont dropping down the order. And what a race. A fantastic one. Mins holding off and putting the pressure on De Bont. De Bont cracked. I've never seen De Bont crack that badly. And there we go. Mins makes it 2 from 2. He wins the first race. He comes home and wins the second race here tonight. Congratulations to him. Across the line goes Skunky in P2. Silth makes it onto the podium. Airish makes P4 for the number 4. De Bont takes fastest lap but 5th. O'Reilly 6th. De Monster 7th. Friedman in 8th. Harris is going to finish in a 9th place position. Hooper in 10th. Then it's going to be McGowan ahead of Ramsel, ahead of Kowalski, ahead of Hibbs, Matt Wright, Zdanov. We still got to fight here. Schwarber looking to go up the inside of Nagano. Still can't get this name. The number 44. Number 44 versus the number 20. Schwarber now looking to make the move. Is he going to get the job done? No, he's not. Will Brink finishing in 19th place position. And here comes Jack and the 1-1. Oh, massive mistake right at the end there. He loses one position, but he manages to hold on to the 21st position. Marsden 22nd, Aberdeen 23rd. Crespo in a 24th position. Wolski in the end is still fighting off Johnson. He's got a bit of damage to the front end of his car. And he's going to hang in there right to the very end. Honestly, guys, my throat is hurting. Wolski towards the line. He gets 25th. And we still wait for Varga to finish. And that is that. So it's Varga we're just waiting on. Wow. Oh, Mins, what a performance there. Oh. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Either way, Mins takes the win there. Fastest lap. Let's have a look for Torok. And it was a 46-1 in the end for De Bont. So he does go faster in that one. I'll be back in a few minutes' time after I get a drink and a massage on my neck because that was crazy. We'll be right back as we'll get the final qualifying and the final race underway. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get things back underway for the final qualifying session here. Sorry, I had to rush down and get myself a glass of... I've got myself a glass of milk just to try and soothe my throat, because... Wow. Honestly. I think it's come to the conclusion that the BMW M2s are a brilliant series to watch. Anyone is in the chat that is driving in the Pro GT3. I am Klaus. Yes, Klaus? Yeah, I am. If that helps in any way. Yeah, I think the M2s are a fantastic car to have this season. They've been already incredibly entertaining, and we'll see how the rest of it. It's entertaining all the way up the grid, from the front to the middle to the rear. It's been epic racing so far, and I've loved every single second of it. Into the final qualifying session now and seeing where we end up. Guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified. I'll eat a biscuit because it's that good. Reminder as well, if you want to be a Patreon as well, reserve your race number and then have priority on sign-ups, as your social media as well. Any social media that is advertised, we will instantly put it on the SimPlay social medias as well. And yeah, still some more great action to come this week. Obviously, like I said, every Tuesday night, this time every Tuesday night will be a hot mint and lemon skin, and a little bit of honey is perfect. Thank you, Berserker. I might look into doing that. Every Tuesday night will be the Whodarron Cup, and they will bring you all the action. Myself will bring you the series. And on Wednesday night would be the Pro-Am Championship GT3s. Boy, are they going to be interesting around here tomorrow night for the Pro-Ams. I'll have a quick look to see how many we got on the grid for that. Hang on. I've got a message from Torlock, so I'll have a quick look at that in a few moments' time. But for the Pro-Ams, as O'Reilly crosses the line to do a 46.4. We know he needs to go a lot quicker than that. Ramsell crosses the line. He has no lap time on the board. Silth now crosses the line. 5.1 off the pace. How many of the Pro-Ams have we got for tomorrow night? Confirmed 26 so far and 1 reserve. So 26 cars trying to get around this circuit is definitely going to be very, very interesting. Skunky crosses the line, ends up 2/10 off the back. Hibbs also a decent qualifying session from him there, putting him up the top. Jay going into that P5. Mins goes straight to the top with a 46.4. And I said these guys only got a small amount of time to get a lap time on the board. There's a few cars still left to do a lap time. De Bont there, not yet put a lap time on the board. Neither has Kowalski. Varga, neither. Here comes Airish now coming to the line. And no lap time from him either. So at the minute, it is Mins fastest of them all, from O'Reilly, from Skunky, from Hibbs, from Schwarber, from De Monster now, who goes P6. Harris there goes into P9 as well. So good lap time from him. Harris looking good on that top 10 position. O'Reilly now coming into the final corner. He's going to get another lap on the board. And he goes fastest with a 46.0. We know what we expect, so... As we'll see how the rest of them get on. Hibbs, I think he improved there, or was that Jay? I'll tell you what, I am really looking forward to racing on Thursday night. It's going to be epic. Towards the line now, Skunky, no improvement. He stays where he is at this moment in time. Mins can't do 3-0, guys. You can do it. I don't know. The guys need to do a 45. Clear as day, they need to do a 45. De Bont goes P3. Here comes Mins. Is he going to take pole position once again? Not this time round. So O'Reilly at the minute holding off. He's in. Is O'Reilly still on another lap? But we see that Airish now goes P2. He gets within 3/10 of O'Reilly. So Airish now getting himself into a little bit of a scrap with the top guys now. Has a quick swig of milk just to soothe the throat. So also not too far off the pace. Skunky is done. So we won't see any more improvement from Skunky. And here comes O'Reilly. Towards the line now comes O'Reilly. What can he do? And he does not improve, but currently on provisional pole. Airish, meanwhile, has got a little bit of traffic by the looks of things, so he's probably not going to improve. Here comes Sills. Has he gone any faster? No, he has not. Ramsel will start 16th in the end, unless we see some improvements. Towards the line as the 116 goes P7, and Min's still on a lap, as is De Bont. Skunky is done. McGowan ends up 8th in the end, and Schwarber there in P10. Harris still on a lap. We still wait to see. Hibbs is done, only 12th in the end for him, as Mins and De Bont and Airish are all the ones we're keeping an eye on. De Bont to the line. Does not improve and stays where he is. Here comes Mins to the line, and he snatches pole position right at the end there. A 45.9. Airish still stuck behind the car. I'm not sure which car that is. It's one of the Polish drivers, I know that, and I think it's Jacka. Yes, it was. And in the end, did Airish go faster? No, he didn't in the end. And Mins in the end, pole position for him. Skunky done, everyone else done. I think it's just flop on a lap. And he invalidates straight. Oh, God, no, didn't mean to hit replay. Probably going to break the game now. No, I'm all good. Klaus in the chat, I think a low 32 or a low 31. The fastest at the minute is a 1:32.1 in the GT3s that's been set at the moment. So that's the kind of fastest lap, and it's like Tordok said, no one's done a high 31 just yet, but I'm sure someone will eventually do that. Cloud says, I want you back for a season. I doubt you'll see Tordok back. He's become a PC nerd, and while he is loving the life of I believe Le Mans Ultimate, I believe that you're running Tordok. Ignore 31s. I think that's a massive lie. You're not far off, Tordok. You're not far off. Yes, he's talking about you for sure. Right. So, once again, Mins is on pole, but this time he's got a third different challenger. He has got the defending champion this time. Oh God, pressed the wrong button. So I'm doing all sorts of stuff to my PC now. Race 3 winner. So Mins, I'm pretty sure, is going to be the favourite for this one. O'Reilly. And guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. Airish. And we also have De Bont. Can't count how many dots. No. De Bont. Start the poll. Right, now we get away for the third race here. The third and final race of the night before the Pro-Ams look to take over the server tomorrow night. How do I join these races? Send it Sim Racing. So head over to the Sim Grid. Once you're then at the Sim Grid, you search for SimPlay Motorsport. Once you've searched for SimPlay Motorsport, you're able to join the Discord, sign up to our championship as well, as Klaus has explained, and the link in the description is also below. Once you then join the channel, you need to do our hot stint, which is required, so we can put you in the correct category. As you can see, that then leads me on to my next thing, which is you can see the category is also set for the Whodarron Cup as well. White drivers are your gold drivers, grey drivers are your silver, and red is your bronze. So we'll put you in the correct category, and it's more important obviously with the GT3s. Quick run through of the grid order. It's Mins on pole position once again, from O'Reilly, from Airish, from then DeBont in P4, Skunky in P5 with Silth in P6, McGowan in P7, J116 is in P8, Friedman P9, the Monster in P10, with Schwarber in 11th. Harris will start in 12th, Zinadov in 13th, with Hibbs in 14th, Flop 15th place position. I'm still gonna Nagonov in P16th, Ramsell 17th, Wright 18th, Kresbo in 19th, Schwarbert in 20th, Schwarski in 20th, Wilbrink in 21st, Millington 22nd, Jacket in 23rd, Aberdeen 24th, Anderson 25th, Wolski 26th, Varga 27th, Marsden 28th, Paro in 29th, and Kowalski in 30th position. We have lost a few drivers here, but nonetheless we still got a packed grid nonetheless. We now wait to get things underway. Torok in the chat saying, since I last spoke to you, I have got hooked up to iRacing and won my first league. Congratulations on that one, Torok. We do kind of miss you here at SimPlay Motorsport. When I say kinda, yeah, kinda, it gives us another chance for others to win. Why they look like they're going so slow? That's because they're on their formation lap, black belt bullets. So that's why. As they're about to get themselves ready to go racing. How many cones will keep standing after lap 1? None of them. But knowing what Will Friedman's like, he's probably knocked them all out. Here we go. We're ready for the final time tonight. This time it is MSA O'Reilly giving Mins a hard time into turn number 1. Can he do a DeBont and go around the outside? That is the question as we now wait for starters orders here at Oulton Park. And we are green and go, racing here at SimPlay Motorsport. Down towards turn number 1, and Mins gets the jump, and DeBont does the same move he done to Airish that he did to Mins. Around the outside he goes, and job done as they now head down towards turn number 1. And Mins holds off O'Reilly, and Airish and DeBont still batting it hard. Skunky nearly had a moment there, and then he ended up in the wall. But once again, we're all relatively clean, except towards the back by the looks of things. A lot of flashing going on as well. So Skunky, I think there, flash of the lights to the cars in front. Oh, there we go. Big moment. McGowan's off. Jay's off as well. Who is that? I think it's the Monster as well. Oh, here we go. Traffic jam. And absolute carnage going into the hairpin there. And we did so well. So well not to have any carnage, and here we go. That was so good until then. But either way, Mins is now leading the way, still ahead of O'Reilly, Airish, from DeBont, from Silth, from Skunky. McGowan's finally got going, but he's got a long way to go. Absolute chaos. I've just seen the rewatch on the screen. My monitor's a little bit further behind than. Wow. That did hurt quite a bit as Mins is now pulling away. Can O'Reilly do anything? Can he really put him under any pressure? That is the question. As I'm waiting for the tables to update a little bit, and so that I'm able to see where actually everyone is as they all get themselves into an order. A little bit chaotic at the start there, but O'Reilly already losing touch to Mins. Mins is pulling away, and a few cars return to pit lane as Skunky now trying to pressurize Silth, and Friedman in the end comes out in front of all that. It's like a normal race 3 in British touring cars, that is right, PN, a little bit chaotic in a race 3. And there further back is one of the Polish drivers, Strolski, going a little bit wide. And O'Reilly though has brought the gap down to Mins, and I think Mins is now starting to feel the heat, starting to feel the pressure. And I also think some of the guys now are seeing how much of a serious threat that Mins is. Airfresh now also looking very fresh at the minute and looking to try and pressurize the leaders. The Bont's there, Silth is hanging in there, best way to put it, but hoping for something to happen. What else is happening further back? We're on board with Zdanov, who's on the back of Hibbs, who's got Matt Wright with him for company as well. Ramsell just onto the back of this group also. So fights are happening up and down the order. Zdanov looking to go through on Hibbs, but can't get the job done through there. What else is happening further back? We've got a move here against Millington and Marsden. They're going for a fight as well. Through the chicane they go. Yeah, that's something I forgot to bring up as well. The drivers get 8 sets of tyres from the start of the session being reset, so they're limited on tyre sets, so you might not see a lot of drivers doing a lot of practice. So, or some of them have over practice and are now on some old set of tyres. So this is the new challenge as well, and it's the same with the GT3s. They're going to be limited on tyres also. So yeah. So Mins meanwhile still not able to drop this group. Meanwhile, Airfresh is Erish is really struggling from De Bont here. De Bont giving him a bit of a headache here. De Bont seems to be very comfortable when chasing, but when he was leading, he was a bit under pressure. As they're looking to the fast left-hander, Silth looking really racy here as well. Give O'Reilly a bit of clean air and he'll start to pressurize the cars in front, and that's what I think he's starting to do. Wound himself up. Meanwhile, Flop and Matt Wright, they're relatively close to one another as well. Flop like he's going a little bit wide, and Matt Wright sticking the nose up the inside momentarily there, but not able to capitalize. Crespo there onto the back, Strolski, but can't find a way through. I say that a lot, can't find a way through. I need to come up with new lines, I think. Whoa, there's a car off big time there in the background. Who is that? That is Peru there. He goes Paru, who goes a little bit wide and has managed to get back on circuit. Meanwhile, Mins and O'Reilly now starting to pull away. The 2 and the 1 pulling away from the 4. And then the 999 Siltho looking to put a little bit of pressure on the guys in front. Skunky now also within arm's reach and not too far behind, starting to build up his pace is Friedman. And Schwarber also not looking too shabby. As we see here, Harris makes a mistake. That's going to offer an opportunity for Hibbs to go down the inside. For a moment he looked about doing it, but was unable to get the job done. And Harris holds them off. And Flop, meanwhile, just pulling away from the guys ahead. Zdanov there with Ramsell, Wright, Strolski and Crespo all close to one another. Oh, and that is Strolski going very, very wide. A little bit of a mistake there. O'Reilly, meanwhile, giving him a hard time. And Vince now pulling away, fastest lap of the race. O'Reilly's keeping him in touch. Airish though. De Bont, meanwhile, has been passed by Silth. And De Bont there bouncing over the curb. And Torok saying that we're in good hands. Yeah, you got O'Reilly, who still needs to beat his champion, Hooper, who's to get a bit of age, Friedman, and the new Mr. Consistent Irish as well. So in good hands apparently, and I really do hope these guys all stick around. We seem to have a trend where we start to lose drivers towards the end of the season. We have also shortened the season. Hopefully that would keep more people interested with a shortened season. With only 10 rounds this time round instead of 13 I think we had last time, so hopefully that should keep the interest as well. So we are in very good hands, I would say, Torok. We do still miss you obviously on the track. We'd like to see you come maybe back for a couple of fun events. That would be awesome to see. Maybe running with MSA for a couple of endurance races, who knows. But obviously we are also looking at the interest of what Project Motorsport Racing is going to produce for us. Maybe that might be the next step for SimPlay Motorsport, we don't know. But at this moment in time, for the Whodarron Cup, it is the M2s. And the M2s, I have to say, guys, have been phenomenal. I would go do driver of the day later, and I actually don't know who to go. There's been so many good drives. There have been so many good moments tonight already, and this is just round one, guys. Round one of the season. And I said I'll run through the calendar a little bit later on, but Min still leads this race with only half a second ahead of O'Reilly, and O'Reilly seems to be getting into a groove here. Erish now pulling away from Silt and DeBont. Skunky not a million miles away, and then you got Friedman sat there in P7 as well. Schwarber in P8, Hibbs P9, and Harris P10, Flop P11, Zdanov in P12. Ramsel under pressure from Matt Wright for 13th and 14th. Swarovski in 15th, and Crespo in 16th. Wilbrink in 17th, the Monster 18th, Jay Wolf, Jesus Christ, Jay going a little bit wide there in 19th place position, and Kowalski in 20th, minuting ahead of Marston. Varga is in 23rd, he has a little bit of a lag moment, as Anderson 24th, Johnson 25th, Jacka in 27th, Wolski is in the pit lane, Peru going through, and Aberdeen running at the back. Back to the front we go. O'Reilly and Min still relatively close to one, and not as dramatic as we had earlier on. DeBont meanwhile still trying to give Silt a little bit of a hard time. Silt not offering any opportunity for DeBont to get through. So we'll go further back. Ramsel looking like he's gone a little bit wide. Oh, and Swarovski also goes loose as well. As we're going to come to the end of your prediction, and Min's taking the vote so far. Oh, Ramsel having another. Oh no! Oh, Swarovski. These Polish drivers are really giving me a heart attack at the minute. They're really hanging their cars very loose and really pushing the limit. And it's great to see these cars really being thrown around. It's awesome to watch. I've got my fingers crossed for PMR. ACC is just not working for me. I think it's the same for all of us. We've kind of got to a stage where it's become a chore to race on ACC. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy this game, but I want something new and fresh. I've actually missed having high downforce cars. I miss the LMPs, I miss the hypercars, and I miss so many different circuits that we never go to, but we will see what happens. We are keeping a very close pro. I think a lot of us have already got it on pre-order, ready for when SimPlay moves to it, or moves to something of it. I know the Whodarron Cup might change. Meanwhile, DeBont looking to make a move on the inside of Silth. Silth gives him the racing room, and Silth goes a little bit wide. DeBont's not, he's got a tighter line, so he's not going to get the best run as they head down towards turn number 1. Skunky just behind, meanwhile, watching all this unfold, and DeBont has to fall back into place. Oh nope, Silf goes a little bit wide. DeBont has a sniffing opportunity. They're coming up to the kink. They're going to go side by side. Sivgill's in the room. And Silf in the end holds him off once again. Oh, you can see both of them twitching like mad. And DeBont in the end holds off Skunky as well, who's now on the attack. He's going to try and go around the outside using the momentum as well. And Skunky has to fall back into position. Meanwhile, O'Reilly is looking very interested now on Mins. He's brought the gap down. Tibbs, I would enjoy MX-5s, maybe touring cars. We've missed the touring cars on SimPlay Motorsport. We used to run touring cars all the time, and are one of our old classic favourites as well. The Renault Clios were a right giggle. Meanwhile, Silf's made a mistake. He's now lost the position to Erish, and no, sorry, Arish is still in front. It's now De Bont who's making a move. I think maybe De Bont and Silth came together, but here comes Skunky. Here comes Friedman down the inside. Friedman makes contact with Skunky. Oh, and Silth and De Bont come round again, and De Bont spins Silth around, and now Friedman's looking to come through as well. But he can't find a way through, and De Bont putting the hazards on. I think he's trying to signalise that he's... Oh no, I don't know what he's trying to signalise there. As they go through the right-hander, and De Bont holds now off Friedman. And into the final corner they come, and Friedman now looking to try and potentially get into the top 4. Skunky losing out to that position, and Silth, the biggest loser out of all that, dropping right to the back of the top 10 in 11th place position. I tell you what championship I miss from the olden days. Well, I say the olden days. I used to do a bit of PEC racing myself, and when I used to do a bit... Oh, Friedman's made a big mistake. He's in the grass. He's in the gravel. Sorry, not in the gravel. He's ended up on the grass, and through goes Skunky. Has Schwarbert gone through? Yes, he has, as they try and clear a back marker. And Harris now giving the flashlights, and Harris also goes through. Hibbs also goes through, and the back marker is trying to stay well out of the way. But a championship I did from another league, as I entered the was it R Factor 2, and they had the British Touring Car package. That was some of the best racing I've done in a long time. That was amazing stuff. Even with the hybrid, it was entertaining. So hopefully something like that will come to PMR. We shall see. Meanwhile, Jay's onto the back of Wilbrink, but Wilbrink's just holding him off at this moment in time. Once again, we go back to this scrap. De Bont's now lost the position to Skunky. Skunky's now into the top 4. And Schwarbert now leading Silver Driver, wanting to put pressure. Friedman's dropped back behind all this lot, and is looking to try and capitalise his way back up the order. But Skunky gaining that position. And in the end, they've just lost touch to the top 3. It is Mins who's pulling away out in front at the minute, with O'Reilly just behind him. But then you got this scrap, as we're going to stay on this scrap while I type up driver of the day. Hopefully we shall get some interviews of winners as well. So we get driver of the day ready to go. Guys, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be notified, and still Skunky. Here we go. I think that's Schwarbert and Friedman going at it, and Schwarbert is just going to try and hold off Friedman as best as he possibly can. But he can't find a way through at the minute, touching the dirt. There goes Skunky, just pushing a little bit too hard there by the looks of things. Silver, bronze class winners are as well, correct? Yes, there are those as well, Langley. As we now continue coming on through. Over the curb, there goes Schwarbert. He's really struggling here with Friedman. Oh, in the background, that's Hibbs. Hibbs had a spin. He's now gone to the back of that train, and he should be able to just fall in behind Ramsell there. Yes, he will. A silly little mistake there from him. Meanwhile, O'Reilly has brought the gap back down to Mins, but not really significant enough. And once again, Friedman still giving Schwarbert a bit of a hard time here. There is driver of the day, so you get your votes in on who you think driver of the day was. I don't think we'll do, I don't really want to, because we've done 3 races. That means different winners every time, and it's just a long process, and I can't control what people are going to say. So mainly just race winners I think would do. Top 3 finishes really, because it's just difficult for me to do effectively 9 interviews, which isn't easy to do. So Shout out to my mate Marsden, solid night in the bronze class. Yes, he's been a solid driver nonetheless, and actually been giving the silver drivers a little bit of a hard time. So Marsden sat there currently in P22 at the minute. What other scraps we got going on? So Danhoff giving Matt Wright a bit of a headache. De Bont still on the back of Sylph. I think what's happened there is that De Bont's given the place back to Sylph. He's dropped right down the order, so I think he's given that place up. Friedman's finally got Schwarber, and we've gone off that at the wrong time. And now Harris is onto the back of it. So Harris having a much better race 3 here, and was mid-pack, and now he's towards the front of this one. And the monster there just trying to get onto the back of Hibbs, who had his own little moment earlier on. And again, you can possibly start to see where people are just struggling with either old tyre sets that they're running. And here is O'Reilly, Mins and O'Reilly coming across the line. They're going to start their penultimate lap. As the clock ticks down. And O'Reilly's not too far behind the back of Mins here. Going to try and give him a bit of a hard time towards the end of this race. So a quick run through as we get towards our final lap here. It is Mins leading the way with the fastest lap of the race, ahead of O'Reilly in second, Erish in that P3 position, Skunky P4, Friedman P5, Schwarber in that P6 position. Then it's Harris P7 with Sylph in P8. De Bont in P9 with Flop in P10. Matt Wright sitting in P11 with Zdanov in P12. Ramsel in 13th with Hibbs in 14th. The Monster in 15th place position with Kowalski in 16th with Jay in 17th. Zworski, I can't even, yeah. The number 977 in 18th, Varga in 19th place position, Marsden's there in 20th, McGowan in 21st with Will Brink in 22nd, Crespo sat in 23rd with Jacka in 24th, Johnson 25th with Anderson, who's had a big moment there and is in 25th, but he's ahead of Millington quite comfortably, as Paro also in 28th. Wolski still going though, and the number 44 in pit lane as well. And that is your running order. We now start the final lap here, and Mins is now on his final lap and is going to go right to the very end. O'Reilly once again in second place with Erish trying to hunt them down. And the other fights going on. Friedman keeping Schwarber just behind at the moment. Strolkalski. Thanks, Langley, for trying to help me out, mate. The problem is, even though you've broken it down like that, my dyslexia brain is still trying to make me say it in a stupid way. So, yeah, I'm trying my best. Reminder as well, guys, that if you've not put your liveries in, then I will not be able to do the Instagram post tomorrow. So make sure your liveries are in there if you're a race winner, and I'll get them posted in as well. As we are now coming to the end of this race, no one really close to another at the minute. It's just Friedman, Schwarber and Harris who are quite close to one another. I think O'Reilly's really not going to threaten him as we're there. Schwarber looks for a moment to go up the inside of Friedman, but Friedman done a good job to work his way back up to P5. As we now come to the end here, the final time here, the flash of the lights there as Mins wants the car out of his way, and into the final corner we go. It has been 3 from 3 for Mins. Race 1, race 2 and race 3, and he dominates here tonight, and fastest lap of the race. O'Reilly finishes in second place position. Erish in the end is going to finish in that third place position. A good job from him. And Skunky comes home for a P4, 2 second places and a 4th place. He's got to be very happy with that one. Freeman in the end P5 ahead of Schwarber ahead of Harris, and then sealed in that P8 position. De Bont in the end finishing in P9. Flop is going to finish in P10. Matt Wright finishing in 11th. Sedanov in 12th. Ramsel will finish off in 13th place position with Hibbs in 14th. De Monster in 15th place position. Jay will cross the line in that 16th place position. Shrowolski is going to come home to finish in 17th place position, just ahead of Varga. Kowalski in the end finished in 19th. 20th will go the way of Marsden, ahead of McGowan, ahead of Wilbrink in 22nd. Crespo in the end 23rd. Jacket in the end 24th. Johnson 25th. Paro is going to hold off against Wolski, I think, for P26 and P20. P26. So Wolski's going to come home. Anderson 27th, Millington 28th, and the number 40. Oh, here we go. Wolski's just going to grab him right at the very end there. Oh, he just about got him at the end, so just on the line. Down GG's, bruv. That was a good night's worth of racing. It has been fantastic to watch. Project Motor Racing is cross-platform and will allow sim racers to race together. Yes, it will be, and that is what we are excited about. It's more likely going to be where the side series will end up. I think the side series will end up on there first, and that will kind of be where we will start to look to focus on that. Right, so hopefully my headset is working. So far we've got no one joining me in the comms box at this moment in time, but race winners are open to join if they want to. So I'll be right back, so just change the stream a minute. So right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, live on SimPlay Motorsport. We've got the highlights running in the background. We have currently only one driver joining us in the commentary box, and that is Mr. Defending Champion himself, Mr. Kieran O'Reilly. Kieran, obviously, a brand new challenge, brand new season ahead. You're champion, leading, defending champion on this one. And the challenge this time round is the BMW M2s. Explain tonight's racing. Surely this has got to be a little bit more chaotic to the Ginettas.
Yeah, definitely. Caught me out a bit, to be fair. Not really. I didn't actually think I'd need to do much testing. I thought, we'll send it, have a laugh and whatnot. But the pace is there from people, very, very quick. So it's caught me out a bit. I think just found the pace for race 3, I think. A lot more stable, but still not quick enough. So, there's challenges ahead for the season, but that's what we're here for. We're here to battle each other and obviously try and beat each other in the end.
Yeah, indeed, and like I said, it's a bit of a shock as well. Like I said, coming into this race and seeing how competitive the pack is, and obviously we got a lot of new drivers as well joining us on the Canada this season. Talk us about that, because obviously Mins has just come from absolutely nowhere and has come and absolutely dominated tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Again, I've never seen the name. Not quite sure who he is. Obviously a bit of an alien. So yeah, fair play to him. He's come in, set the bar high, and that's what we've got to get to now. So, like I say, it's nice to obviously have the new drivers come in. I think we've had quite a lot this season, so I think it's going to make for some proper racing. And obviously, to start the season off around Oulton, I think it's proved well. To be fair.
I was pleasantly surprised at how well the first two races went with actually no real drama, considering we are a very tight circuit in very small cars. Obviously, the other thing that a lot of these new drivers haven't experienced, but you have a massive amount of experience in, is obviously when we go to the next round, we go to Nürburgring. Mins is going to be carrying 40 kilos on board his M2. How much of a factor do you think the weight is going to affect these cars? Because I genuinely think they're going to be a nightmare with the weight.
I have to agree. They feel really heavy as it is. That's what I couldn't adjust to. I was trying to drive the Ginetta still, so yeah, there's massive difference. So the 40 kg is gonna make it feel like a different car to drive. Never mind race close. So it's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna spice things up. I'm very happy to not be carrying the 40 kg straight away again. So I do not mind that one bit. We can let some others race with that for a bit and see how it feels. So, yeah, we've got to see how it affects people and see how they can cope with it, I suppose.
Indeed. So basically, the plan is to carry it for the last race of the season.
Well, we might be coming into this one with some tactics. I might have binned it on purpose tonight. We don't know, do we?
Well, Tordok has just messaged me. Dan, tell him said not to put it in the wall again.
No, I got clipped round. Did you not see? No,
well, we can.
Like I say, that was again what I was saying. The adjustment to the car. I thought I had it coming out the corner, and all of a sudden, bang! It was gone. So doesn't help with no traction control on, obviously. But like I say, it's all a learning curve. That's the joy of the racing. We get to learn a new car and pick it up throughout the season. So yeah, there's no harm done there. It's the first race. We've managed to get some decent results for MSA as well. So hopefully we can just carry on with this now.
I'm sure being the champion that you are, you'll be well adapted to it and find your way around. Obviously, next round of the championship is Nürburgring. How do you think you're going to get on around there?
I'm looking forward to that one a lot more than Oulton Park. I should have done testing for this one. It's not a strong track of mine. Struggle around there anyway. Just can't seem to put the track together. So yes, this one was a bit of a struggle, but with the ring, looking forward to that. Love racing around there, and I think these cars, I think it's going to suit that track. I think you're going to really be able to send it round there, bumper to bumper. A lot more opportunities to have a dive and a bit of door banging. So, yeah, looking forward to that. I'm confident for next week.
Yeah, indeed. And one quick word, obviously, new season, new championship, new drivers, new rules for the GT3s as well. Running the number one back in your Honda for the pro category. How are you feeling going into the new season for the GT3s?
Well, I mean, I'm feeling strong. You've got to, I've obviously got the confidence coming in from last season. I've done not done a lot, but I've done a few races since in the off season in the Honda, and if I'm being honest, I'm figuring it out more and more as I go. I'm starting to manage to get it more planted and be a bit more consistent in it. So I'm feeling confident. Like I say, I love racing the car anyway, so it is what it is when it comes to pro nights. But like I say, there's a lot of competition around. There's a lot of new guys that are really fast, on par with the pace of us top boys. So anything can happen. I think it's going to be very tight, but I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to get back in the Honda, put it on the grid, and obviously a few more Hondas on the grid as well, which is brilliant to see.
I was going to bring that up. You started a trend here at SimPlay Motorsport.
That's it, trendsetter.
Matthew Duffin's going to be very happy with you being a lover of the Hondas, but it didn't seem to work out when I made the Lexus competitive. No one tend to want to go for that, but either way, mate.
I've put the Honda on the map now.
Well, hopefully I can give you a hard time in the Lexus. But either way, mate, congratulations on your podiums tonight. And we'll see you on Thursday night for the GT3s.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
And that is that. And I think I'm going to try and get a quick look at what the championship standings looks like. We haven't got anyone else joining in the party at the minute. So it is just O'Reilly who's coming in for an interview. But championship standings, Matthew Duffin thankfully has done me the great pleasure of doing the standings for me. Mins leads the way, though, ahead of Skunky. Sorry, this is the gold category. So Mins leads the way ahead of Skunky, ahead of O'Reilly, Erish, DeBont, Silth, Harris, DeMonster, Ramsor, Kowalski, Friedman, McGowan, Wright, Jay, Hibbs, Flop, Hoopert, Post, and Langley for your gold category. For silver is Schwarber ahead of Sedanov, Will Brink ahead of the 44 driver of Naganov. I'm going to get it wrong all week, all season, I'm pretty sure. Crespo P5, Varga is in 6th, Jacket in 7th, Aberdeen from Wolski, from Strolski, Anderson, Millington, Stardog, Cox, Leach, and Lee. And then for your bronze driver, Marsden, Paro, Johnson, Smith, Best, and then Waste as well. For your teams, it is MSA who leave Oulton Park leading the way ahead of the casuals, ahead of Greasy Bandits Racing. Then it's Team FBGB. Autobahn United in P5, Schwartzky Motorsport in P6, Kolzak Racing, and then ahead of Only Siders, SimPlay Racing in P9, Apex Motorsport, then it is GBU Racing, Quantum Motorsport, then it's Macca's Racing, Soldor Racing, then Roadrunners Motors, Billy No Mates, and then Team SPR at the back. And that is it for the Whodarron Cup. And we'll bring you all the action. And here's a quick look at what is to come this season. Pro-Am tomorrow night with Matthew Duffin and a few different special guests this season in the commentary box there. And then we got the pros as well with Sweet and Sticky back once again to bring you all the action on a Thursday night. We've got round 1 here at Oulton Park. We've got the rest to come. Round 2 is going to be Nürburgring. Misano is going to be round 3 of the season, a night race. Imola is going to be our evening race for round 4. Round 5 is Silverstone. Bathurst Mount Panorama will be our morning race on round 6. Round 7 is Spa-Francorchamps for our second and last night race. Then it's going to be Kyalami round 8. Circuit of the Americas round 9, and Donington Park to finish things off. I've been Dan Davis. This has been the Whodarron Cup, and this has been an epic night's worth of racing. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell to be notified so you don't miss anything here at SimPlay Motorsport. And we shall see you all tomorrow night for the Pro-Am Championship. A good night from all here, and congratulations to our winners tonight, and driver of the day for me has to go to Mins as well, so congratulations to him on driver of the day.